Good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Beers. This is kind of the week before Christmas, last minute shopping episode of Sunday Morning Beers. And we thought, it's getting close enough to Christmas that we would start to do a Christmas tie-in. So the idea that we came up with is we're going to read our wish list of beers that we would like to get for Christmas, our list to Santa, if you will. And so we're going to read you our list, and then we would like you to send us your list of beers that you would like for Christmas. You can send those to brewmasterdug@hotmail.com, lifewithbeer@hotmail.com, contact@4thstreetbeer.com. You know how to get hold of us. Lots of ways to get hold of us. Now you can include in your lists, obviously you're going to include 4th Street Brewery beers, because no beer geek would have a beer list without at least one 4th Street Brewery beer on there. We're not going to do that because that's just too self-serving. So now we had a really hard time narrowing this list down. After much time, we've got it down to 17 beers. So we're going to go through this kind of quick. We're going to drink here one of the beers that's on those lists. I know it sounds really cliche, but it's a great beer. And of course, you have to name one beer from this brewery, Three Floyds Brewing Company. And we went with the Alpha King. I think it's absolutely one of the best IPAs out there for sure. Got the maltiness to back it up. A wonderful, wonderful aroma of both the malt and the hops. That really nice citrusy hop flavor. Easy drinking, refreshing, delicious beer. That's what we're going to drink. All right. That's no particular order on this list here. We're just going to name some beers. Here's a really, really unusual beer. Originally, you had it on the list twice. That's how much we liked it. Abbaye de Saint-Bonchen is actually from Switzerland. A sour brown ale aged in oak. Delicious beer. We really like that a lot. A beer that we actually drank on the show, and certainly the most expensive beer that we've ever had, Sam Adams Utopias. Would love to get a case of that for Christmas. A beer that's, definitely off the radar as far as, the average person probably naming in their list would be the Ithaca Beer Company. They had a beer called Old Habit, which was made with 4 different rye malts aged in whiskey barrels. Then a brewery that I think a lot of beer geeks would have on their list of top breweries. And appropriately enough, they did a whole series of Christmas beers. The brewery is called The Brewery, of course, in California. And the beer that we picked was Two Turtle Doves, a Belgian-style beer brewed with cocoa nibs and toasted pecans. Wonderful, wonderful beer. Another one of our favorite breweries, Victory Brewing Company. A lot of things you could pick from them. We went with Helios, which was a Belgian farmhouse. Then a brewery, a lot of people, would see their beers and not necessarily know the name of the brewery. That's North Coast Brewing Company. They make Old Rasputin. Okay. Now that is a very good beer, but they have something that really blows that right out of the water. It was the 12th anniversary Old Rasputin, which was aged in bourbon barrels. Just, if you think Old Rasputin is good, try Old Rasputin 12 if you can find that. Obviously, we got to go with some classic beers, and certainly it'd be remiss if we didn't name beers from the one of the 7 or more than one of the 7 Trappist breweries. I went with Roquefort 8 as my first from the Trappist breweries, and then absolutely one of Tracy and ours favorite breweries, of course, is Jolly Pumpkin. And I have this beer listed in my top 3, and that's La Roja. And it's got to be up there in Tracy's top as well. Jolly Pumpkin La Roja. So we would like to get a case of that. All the rage in the craft brewing world is collaborations, and believe it or not, we have a collaboration on our wish list. Schneider Weiss Hopfenweiss, which was a collaboration between Schneider in Germany and Brooklyn Brewing Company here in the United States, was essentially a hoppy Hefeweizen. Wonderful, wonderful beer. Then another one of our absolute favorite breweries, oddly enough also from Pennsylvania, Weyerbacher Brewing Company. And we could have picked a number of things from them. Initially on the list there was 2 beers. I went with the 12th anniversary beer, which was a essentially a rye barley wine, a rye wine, I guess you would call it. Then New Glarus Brewing Company. A lot of beer geeks would have them on their list.
Yeah.
Could have picked a lot of different things. Tracy herself wanted to go a different direction on this. I went with the Enigma, which was a sour brown ale made with cherries and then aged in oak. Of course, the one that we're drinking right here, the Three Floyds Alpha King. Schmaltz Brewing Company, I think a lot of people would put them in their top 10 breweries, and lots of beers you could pick from them. We went with the Bittersweet Lenny's RIPA, which was a double rye IPA.
And their pomegranate one was good too.
That was also very good. Like I said, could have picked quite a few from them. And then got to go with some classic stuff. In my top 3, possibly Tracy's number 1, Leafman's Gouda Bond.
Very delicious.
Another one that's certainly both in our top 5, Duchess de Bourgogne, kind of along the same lines as the Leafman's Gouda Bond. Then real classic, not a beer that really jumps out with you and says, really unique or anything, just a delicious beer that really exemplifies the style, and that's Straquar House Ale, great Scottish style beer. And then last but certainly not least, the beer that I would probably have on tap at the house and drink every day, and that's Orval, another one of the Trappist beers.
And I have an addition, Dieu de Seal, hibiscus beer.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
Dieu de Seal is another brewery, tough to pick one beer from them for sure. So.
And Lily said she'd like a case of catnip.
Huh, case of catnip. What do you think about that? So there you have it. There's our list. Let us know your list. Get in touch with us. Send us your list. And next week is actually the Christmas episode. It'll be 2 days before Christmas. We'll read your wish list, and you're certainly welcome to include 4th Street Brewery beers in there. So have a great week. We will see you at 4th Street Brewery, and we'll be reading your wish list next week. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.